Welcome back to ScreenRant. Just see John Wick 3? Still have the sound of bullets echoing in your ears? Well, you're not alone. Bigger and better than the first two John Wick movies, Keanu Reeves returned to officially make this assassin story a trilogy, and we couldn't be happier. With so much high-octane action, there are plenty of details you can easily miss, but no worries or blood oath needed. We'll recap it all here for you. So sit back and get ready to dive deeper into some crazy details, including a potential storyline for John Wick 4. In John Wick Chapter 2, we got to see Keanu Reeves and Laurence Fishburne reunite after starring in the Matrix trilogy together, but the Matrix connection goes beyond that for John Wick Chapter 3. The doctor John Wick visits in the minutes leading up to his excommunicado status is actor Randall Duk Kim, who played the Keymaker in The Matrix Reloaded. Then there's also Tiger Hu Chen, a stunt performer from both The Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions. He played a small role in the film, and all of the Matrix connections only make sense because director Chad Stahelski served as the stunt coordinator for the whole Matrix trilogy, along with the Keanu Reeves stunt double in the movies. Who else thought the Bowery King was going to offer John Wick some colored pill options at the end of the movie? The High Table may have a lot of power when it comes to controlling assassins, but their operation works in a very old-school way. Take, for example, the offices where John Wick is officially tracked as being excommunicado. His bounty amount and location are placed on an ever-changing chalkboard. While John Wick definitely has one of the highest bounty amounts at 14 million, there are some other assassins who may be worth tracking down. One of the assassins was listed at a hefty $7 million. Several were only $350,000, and there's someone named Lebedev who has a $2 million bounty on their head. While all of these assassins were trying to hunt down John Wick, a hefty reward would come to anyone tracking these other killers. With John Wick's excommunicado status active and ready for bounty, it doesn't take long for the character to come across challengers. One of the first assassins looking to take him down turned out to be one of the biggest, literally. During the library brawl that will give you a whole new way to look at your own book collection, Wick faces off against a giant man, one who stands at 7 feet high and 3 inches tall. If he looked familiar, the last time you probably saw him was on the NBA court. The role was played by Philadelphia 76ers center Boban Marjanovic. Getting pummeled and destroyed with a book, Wick was able to make short work of the NBA star. Time for a little math lesson. Each John Wick movie not only has a nice budget increase thanks to the worldwide box office success, but it gives filmmakers a chance to expand on the kill count for both Wick and other characters. So how many kills were there in John Wick Chapter 3? Take a guess. If you said anything under 100, you are way off. Gunshot deaths alone accumulated to 124 deaths. But hey, we cannot give John Wick all the credit here. Helping add to the body count was Halle Berry's character of Sophia, who easily weaves in and out of the action scene, shooting down plenty of enemies along the way. To help reference the 124 gunshot deaths, John Wick 2 had 110. The 9 extra minutes of runtime helped fit in these extra 14 kills. But clearly, the John Wick movies are not just about guns or pencils. The highly trained assassin has proven he can take out opponents with just about anything. One noticeable difference for Chapter 3, the expanded use of swords and knives. The close combat action in the movie showcased a lot of slicing and dicing, including the epic final battle between Wick and Zero. After only 2 knife deaths in John Wick Chapter 2, this one ups the ante with 32 deaths by either a knife or sword. And y'all thought the Hawkeye samurai scene in Endgame was impressive. The John Wick swordplay blows it out of the park. And to end our focus on the kill count. What's a John Wick movie without some random surprising ways to watch characters perish? In this case, we're talking about horses. Yep, who needs a gun or a sword when you have a bucking bronco delivering some serious horsepower with crazy kicks unleashed on enemies? John Wick helps ignite a little rage in some of the horses during the stable scene, before riding on one through the city streets. So how many deaths will these horses be tried for in Farmer's Court? A total of 3. 2 horses delivered fatal kicks to the face, while another one dragged a man to his death. John Wick does get a little credit for the assist, though. We all thought the John Wick movies were going to continue on with simple chapter name as seen in John Wick Chapter 2. Boy, were we wrong. This time around, we got the mysterious subtitle Parabellum, and immediately went to Google to get more information. Would it be Halle Berry's character name? Is that the name of a new dog Wick rescues from the pound? Turns out all those guesses were wrong. The word has a double meaning, tying into the film 2 ways. The origins of the word come from a Latin phrase meaning, if you want peace, prepare for war. The phrase fits perfectly for John Wick's journey in these movies. It also stands for the name of a handgun cartridge, even more fitting into the movie. We had to wait 2 years for John Wick Chapter 3 to get released following the original movie. But in film time, these movies take place back to back, meaning John Wick has had a pretty terrible and long week. He lost his wife, his dog, went on an epic killing rampage, broke the rules of the Continental, and suffered multiple injuries in the process. And this is all in the first 2 movies. The first half or so of John Wick Chapter 3 picks up right where we left off, making you wonder how and when this guy ever gets any sleep. Thankfully, a side detour to Casablanca helps give him a few extra days rest before he is thrust into action again. New York City serves as the ideal setting for John Wick Chapter 3, especially when you get to see the character running through Times Square in the pouring rain. With hundreds of citizens surrounding him, literally anyone could be an assassin. And while the scenes were visually captivating, some of the tension and excitement was minimalized by the silly advertisements in the background. The filmmakers obviously didn't have a choice to which ads are displayed in Times Square, but some of the ones we were able to spot included the SpongeBob SquarePants Broadway musical, The Incredibles 2, and another movie's third chapter, Hotel Transylvania Summer Vacation. Wick could have definitely avoided some assassins if he only got a front row seat to that SpongeBob musical. Naturally, John Wick has been compared to several other action movies including Taken, The Matrix, and Kill Bill. One of the more direct comparisons could be made to the Jason Bourne movies, especially the endings of John Wick Chapter 3 and the third Bourne movie, The Bourne Ultimatum. At the end of the Bourne Ultimatum, Jason Bourne is confronted on a rooftop, shot down, and falls to his supposed death before revealing he is still alive. In John Wick Chapter 3, Wick is confronted on a rooftop, shot down, and falls to his supposed death before revealing he is still alive. Sound familiar? The comparisons are only natural. Both movies are great, and just imagine a world where John Wick and Jason Bourne could team up together. John Wick comes across dozens and dozens of villains this time around, but the one pulling all the strings in the world of assassins seems to be the Adjudicator. The character not only brings a great presence on screen, but the role is unique, as the character identifies as being non-binary, meaning they do not associate with being either male or female. This change was influenced directly by actor Asia Kate Dillon, who identifies as non-binary in real life. At no point in the movie will you hear references to the character as he or she. It's simply they or them to respect their non-binary recognition. Representation in film is key for all types of people, and the casting and character only help to add to the diverse cast shown on screen. The Adjudicator is not only non-binary, but they yield a lot of power without the need to resort to the use of any weapons. With only a cell phone in their hands and the words coming out of their mouth, the Adjudicator is able to create fear and power in anyone they come across. Of course, while they may not carry any weapons themselves, the Adjudicator does have Zero and his gang to enforce the rules and take out anyone willing to support John Wick along the way. Having all the power without needing to lift a finger definitely shows the power of the High Table, but we cannot wait to see what kind of combat secrets the Adjudicator is hiding in John Wick Chapter 4. Oh, did you think we were done with Matrix connections after pointing out all of the actors? Well, like the mythology in one of those sci-fi action flicks, we're going even deeper into John Wick Chapter 3 and its connection with the Matrix. This time with a quote. You can see this Matrix connection by just viewing the trailer, but the expanded scene in the movie makes the line even cooler. Channeling his best Neo, Wick gives the quote,
"Guns. Lots of guns."
The line comes during the build-up to the climax of the movie. Wick gets access to a plethora of guns to take on Zero and his gang. The full circle connection helps tie in both trilogies, two huge roles which will forever define Reeves' career. One of the newest characters in John Wick Chapter 3 is TikTok, a trained assassin who poses as a homeless man and works under the Bowery King. The character is played by comedian Jason Mantzoukas, who is known for hosting the podcast How Did This Get Made? The podcast looks into the world of bizarre movies and how they actually got produced. Naturally, some Keanu Reeves flicks would be included, like his other John-based film, Johnny Mnemonic. In the specific episode, Mantzoukas expresses his desire to star in the next John Wick movie, and his wish actually came true. Plus, his time in the John Wick franchise may not be over yet. He was one of the few to actually survive the movie, carting John Wick to the Bowery King during the closing moments of the film. When John Wick has to reach into his past to ensure survival for his future, he must come face to face with the director and her assassin/ballet school. In the first scenes at the school, we see just how tough the director is, putting a ballet dancer through a rigorous performance. Naturally, the film went to the professionals for the ballet dancing, specifically famed ballet dancer Unity Phelan. Phelan is a famed soloist in the world of ballet, and she helped choreograph her own dancing with Tyler Peck. Obviously, the tattoos representing her dedication to the director were all fake, but added to the feeling of authenticity to the oddball ballet assassin school. Movies often battle it out with studios over getting content approved, actors hired, or other elements of a script. For John Wick Chapter 3, one of the biggest battles the director went up against was not getting a horse to kill multiple men or having another dog killed on screen. Nope, Lionsgate was okay with all that, and the clearly hard R rating. The biggest problem came with John Wick slicing off his own finger, and not because of the gore. The problem was the high budget cost to digitally remove the finger in all of the shots. To help propel the story, the finger scene was included. Just don't be surprised to see Wick wearing a glove in the next sequel to help cut costs down. For a few years now, we've been hearing rumors about a John Wick spin-off entitled The Ballerina, and Chapter 3 gave us our best look at it yet. As Wick walks through the assassin school with the director, we see ballet training, wrestling training, and a young crop of new assassins. This is likely the route the new film will follow. While John Wick featured a grizzled veteran in the world of assassinations, following the story of a rookie will be interesting. We'll get to see them train, get their first kills, and find out some of the best ways to earn those coveted gold coins. The motorcycle chase in John Wick Chapter 3 was impressive for a number of different reasons. The scenes felt authentic, featured some incredible action, and the wide shots were filmed on an actual bridge in New York. The unique Verrazano-Narrows Bridge is a bridge with 2 levels on it, allowing the film's production to get complete access to a whole section of the bridge. When we see Wick driving through the bridge, a number of those shots are actually Reeves riding the motorcycle. Nothing stops the actor from living the true John Wick life. The next time you drive on the bridge, picture how epic the motorcycle chase was during that scene. After seeing the high table's operating room for most of the movie, we get introduced to a character at the end, simply known as the Administrator. He is the one who deconsecrates the Continental and makes the whole hotel open game for murders and assassinations. With tattoos and piercings, the actor behind the role of the Administrator may not seem recognizable, but it's actually Robin Lord Taylor, better known as the Penguin from the Fox series Gotham. Taylor's role feels like a glorified cameo, but it seems like they are definitely setting him up for an appearance in the next John Wick movie. We imagine Wick will be going up against as many members of the High Table as possible, and we already know how dastardly Lord Taylor can be after seeing him play the Penguin for so many years. While Morpheus was all about the suits, jackets, and stylish shades, Laurence Fishburne had a completely different wardrobe for the John Wick franchise. Costume designer Luca Mosco went above and beyond when researching designs. For the Bowery King, his homeless look was emphasized on layers. In Japan, there's a fashion trend known as the Lady of the 12 Layers, and Luca used this layered design when dressing Fishburne for the role. The design allows him to look homeless and stylish at the same time. Of course, it's a far cry from the sleek suits Wick gets to wear in each film. With so many layers, it's no wonder he was able to survive the 7 slashes he received from Zero. After 2 movies with very little details, we got a little more information about John Wick's origins and how he was brought into the world of assassins with the High Table. While talking with the director, played by the brilliant Angelica Houston, listen closely and you can hear her call him by his name Jardani. So is this John's real name, or just a nickname given to him at the school? The movies have always kept things hidden under a layer of mystery, and giving these little niblets and clues helps build the mythology around John Wick without making everything so cut and dry. And speaking of John's history, could the assassin have a connection with the Black Widow herself, Marvel's Natasha Romanoff? Their early histories are pretty similar. Natasha was trained as an expert assassin and had memories implanted that she was trained as a ballerina. John Wick went on a similar course, but we have to wonder how much of his training actually had to do with ballerina dance skills as opposed to hand-to-hand combat and expert marksmanship. And despite their similar assassin training, don't expect John Wick to show up in the MCU anytime soon. The crossover itself would be ridiculous, and Disney wouldn't be a big fan of Wick's violent lifestyle. No matter how many action films Keanu Reeves starred in, playing John Wick is a whole new ballgame. It seems like training for the movie takes longer than actual filming. Reeves takes 6 months or more to not only get in shape, but complete a lot of various gun training drills. When you see Wick kill others, you may notice the precision he uses while shooting, 2 shots to the gut and 1 to the head. This training method is known as the Mozambique drill. It's a classic training method and one Wick relies on a lot. While training with Halle Berry, both actors performed this shooting method at a variety of different ranges. The next time you watch any of the John Wick movies, see how often he uses the Mozambique drill on enemies and other assassins. A standalone John Wick video game would be awesome, but the next best thing would be seeing the character put into Fortnite. The John Wick limited time event not only adds the character skin to the game, but incorporates a lot of different elements from the movie. One of the best hidden Easter eggs comes from finding the Continental Hotel added in the game. When players reach the hotel, they have to follow the same rules as Wick and other assassins. No violence allowed. So if you enter the hotel in the game, you're actually blocked from loading any of your weapons. In a fast-paced film like John Wick Chapter 3, stories and details can go by pretty quick. When Wick shows Sophia his blood oath and asks for her help, we learn that the reason he got the blood oath in the first place was for helping Sophia's daughter go into hiding. We don't hear anything about her daughter again, but if Halle Berry is game to return in the sequel, you can expect the storyline involving Sophia's daughter to come back as well. As the High Table comes under attack from Wick and the Bowery King, they may use Sophia's daughter as leverage to get her to go after Wick and try to stop them. What do you think? Wow, what an action movie, with so many details hidden among the 2-hour runtime. Anything we miss? What was your favorite part? Should they finish the story with John Wick 4? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to ScreenRant for more great content. Thanks for watching.